Hey everybody, and welcome to another SciCraft episode. So today I want to work on getting some terracotta. In some previous episodes I was already talking about that we're running out of it all the time, and today I want to work towards getting some terracotta. Which sounds quite trivial, but if you know the SciCraft server, you would know that we don't do it the old-fashioned way. So we won't use a lot of pickaxes, we will actually build a quarry. So I found a really nice mesa biome that I want to show you in the midst. Let's switch over to that. So this is the SciCraft seed displayed in the program amidst. If you're curious about our seed, you can also find it in the top left corner. It's not a secret anymore. So where spawn, here's our spawn with the mushroom island. And here's our quad widget farm. And this is the mesa that we already built a quarry in. 100 by 100 quarry. It was approximately right around there. But if you build a new quarry, we want to get the biggest possible mesa biome we can get. So ideally the biome should be really long, because the quarry is able to just go on, and it doesn't require a set area anymore. So it can go on in a line. So for example, this one here would be too square to be a good biome, so we really want to search for a really long biome, and actually found one at 50k, approximately minus 50k. This was by far the best biome I've found. Wait a little bit till it loads in, and yeah, here we are. That's the best biome I've found. So it's a really long mesa biome. It's about 3,500 blocks long and about 720 blocks wide. So if you would go down this line here, then 720 blocks over and then up again. So we would almost exclusively mine mesa biome. And this was by far the best one. So let's see some biomes in comparison. So usually they look like this. This one also looks quite good, but this was by far the best one. So this is quite a distance. How do we get there? So let's switch back to the Minecraft survival world. Usually we use piston bolts to reach faraway destinations quite quickly, but in this case we would need to build a diagonal piston bolt that is over 5,000 blocks long, which is more than twice as long as our longest diagonal piston bolt, and that one was already a hell of a grind to build. So this time we don't want to use a piston bolt, since it would also take more than 3 minutes to reach a destination. That's why we're looking into other options. Something that would be feasible would be another ice tunnel. So we could actually use this one here. It leads roughly in the same direction, just continue with it. But we still need to build about 10,000 blocks worth of ice tunnel, which is still feasible, but we have something even better. And I want to show you it. It's on top of the nether. So just a few blocks in that direction. And here it is. This will bring us to the mesa biome. So either you probably already know about it, or you're asking what the hell is this? So this is a long distance Enderpearl cannon. You can shoot an Enderpearl directly to the mesa biome, which is thousands of blocks away in the nether. This was mostly designed by Xcom methods in Ether. Let's maybe go through some different parts. So at the top is a giant TNT duping array and conveyor belt system. So you need a lot of TNT to shoot an Enderpearl this far. That's why we have this TNT duping array at the top. So you can see the TNT blocks where the entities are getting duped. And then transport of a conveyor belt system to one single spot, which is near that lava flow there. Okay, so the TNT all gets duped at the same tick and transported here, where it explodes and shoots the Enderpearl towards the mesa biome. This lava here shields the other blocks from the explosion, completely avoids the block damage, since it has such a high blast resistance that it shields the blocks behind it. Then the second problem is to get the Enderpearl in a super precise position, which is a bit of a problem because usually if you throw an Enderpearl, it has a bit of a random momentum to the side. So if we maybe try to throw this Enderpearl next to that slime block column. You can see it has a bit of momentum to the right. Could also be to the left. Let's try it again. This time it was quite straight. So if you're lucky, it didn't also fly straight, but there's a bit of momentum. You might have noticed this already. And the problem with this one is that, yeah, if you're working with random momentum of the Enderpearl, then it could happen that you land a few hundred blocks at the wrong position, which will be quite annoying. And also you need actually a chunk loading system in order to load the Enderpearl on this travel. If you would just fly in a random direction, you would need a huge chunk loading grid in order, yeah, to not lose the Enderpearl basically in lazy chunks. That's why we need some really precise Enderpearl alignment. So this was a system that was designed by Xcom, which was also based on some previous inventions, for example by Test. But yeah, here's how it works. So the Enderpearl is thrown up here, so you're tucked in the corner here, and then you throw the Enderpearl straight up. Then you activate the tripwire hook with the Enderpearl. Because of a certain trick, the Enderpearl doesn't basically collide with the string, and you get teleported to the string. And then the Enderpearl is getting pushed over and pushed against the anvils right there. So this is a non-full block, just used to align it on the x-axis, and with the anvils at the top also on the z-axis. And then we have the Enderpearl in a precise x and z spot. And then we just need to shoot the Enderpearl up. That's why, in order to get the precise Y position. So there's some slime blocks in order to shoot the Enderpearl up, where the Enderpearl is then later shot over with the TNT. And this can bring you to the destination as accurate as a millionth of a block. So really, really accurate. And it works all the time. Okay, now let's try this out. Got one Enderpearl left. I also want to mention that if you there's a more precise explanation about this whole system on the Xcom's channel. I'll link in the video description, and also in Ether and Methods made videos about the conveyor belt system and TNT tubing system. So also check that out for more precise explanation. Alright, just to throw it up here. You can see it's getting aligned here, and then we should already see the TNT blinking white. And here comes the explosion. Bam. So we had 5712x minus 5140. There's also an Enderpearl cannon on the other side, which brings it back. That's why we have two chunk loading grids here. This one is going back, or this one is going back, and this one is incoming. What's also noteworthy is that the Enderpearl travels at several hundred blocks per tick. And it can cross basically unloaded chunks more or less. So that's why you only need to load certain areas. So usually in order to load an entity you need a 5x5 chunk loading grid, which we can find here. And you just need this every 100 blocks or so. Because in one tick the Enderpearl is in the middle of this chunk loading grid, and then the next game tick it's already a few hundred blocks over in the middle of the next chunk loading grid. So you don't need to have a full 5x5 chunk loading grid on the diagonal. Alright, now let's go back. I'm hoping I'm not flying in the wrong direction now. Yeah, here we are. Alright, so this is the second cannon, it's pretty much the same. Okay, there's some pearls here, hope. Yep. Okay, also check the X coordinates again and Z. So minus 5800x minus 5140 Z. And that's gonna change in seconds. And there we go. 200 minus 170. Back very close to the mesa hub. The maximum range of such a Enderpearl TNT system is about 50 to 100,000 blocks. For even longer distances, then this is 7,000 blocks. You would also need more TNT, and the limiting factor is more or less that the amount of TNT entities would crash your game. Also, you need a lot of RAM in order to load all of those chunks at once. So it depends a little bit on your hardware that you have, how long you can travel with the system. In the last episode, I mentioned that we found a triple witch hut, which is about 1 million blocks away from spawn. And using those Enderpearl cannons would actually be a feasible way to get there. So we would need probably like 2 or 3 of those Enderpearl cannons to get there, which requires still to build a lot of chunk loading. So we're still discussing if you should actually attempt it, but it would definitely be quite cool that you can say we have a triple witch hut 1 million blocks from spawn and we can get there in 2 minutes. And also back in 2 minutes. This would be quite cool, but obviously a lot of effort. Building the chunk loading grid over hundreds of thousands of blocks in the nether, and also increasing the world file size by 1 or 2 gigabytes probably, yeah, is an issue. And we're still discussing if you should actually do it. Alright, now let's check out the mesa biome. It's just improvised by making a little hole through the nether roof. And here we are at 46,700 minus 42,000 in the overworld, which is great. So we have already done a lot of work here, mostly in live streams. So we dug this trench where we will build the quarry in. And maybe let's also check out the mesa biome, because you can't see much of it here. Here you can see the mesa biome starting, and this will go on and on for over 3,000 blocks. It's really the best mesa biome in close proximity to spawn. Close in quotation marks. Alright. So once all of this is mined, we probably won't have any issues with getting terracotta anymore. So currently we don't have any of those normal terracotta blocks left, we just have a few colored ones. But after this is all done, we will have millions of terracotta. I think above 5 millions of the, which was previously the hardened clay, which is now called terracotta. And then also 2 or 3 millions of, for example, orange, brown, red, and yellow, and white. I think light gray is also another color you can find naturally. Most important is definitely the normal terracotta, because you can dye it into the 16 other colors. You also get a lot of other resources from this, for example, dirt. So we don't need need to use the dirt farm anymore, because we also get, I think, 1 million from here. Some coarse dirt as well. Then we also get a lot of gold ore, which is quite interesting, because it's a mesa biome, so there's a lot more gold ore. And I think even 500,000 iron ore, so it's actually a decent iron farm. Something else for a change, I guess. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Obviously also millions of the rare stone types like granite, diorite, and andesite, and also several tens of millions of cobblestone. Alright, now in order to operate the quarry, run the quarry, we need some space below the volume of blocks that is getting mined. It's just the way the quarry works. I want to use the 11 block quarry that I showed on my channel a few months ago. You can also find in the video description if you want to know how we're gonna tackle this here. So we already started removing the blocks here below the volume of blocks that will be mined. We didn't dig this, as you can see with the uneven shape. We again used a TNT tunnel bore. I've also shown this before in the SciCraft episode. So this is an array of TNT dupers in the back. TNT gets shot forward, and then TNT explodes right in front of the machine, making space for the machine to travel through. And this will be used in order to make this tunnel below. There we go. Also I used the double duping system just so it's a bit quicker. So usually we just then fly by, search for some diamond ore in order to reach our double chest goal of each diamond related item, and then activate it again on the other side. So we didn't make a 720 wide tunnel bore, we made 480 wide ones. It would have been more efficient to make the long version, but it has a disadvantage that you need additional players to load the area, which sometimes is a bit of a problem. Not everybody in a SciCraft server has a second account, so it's a bit easier just to build a few smaller machines and yeah, don't use the full efficiency of the long system. Then also multiple people can operate the tunnel bores at the same time, and you don't need to take turns or so. So we could actually make a lot of progress at the same time if 4 people are working on it. So here, a few hundred blocks in the front, there's a second machine and so on. We've already built all of the 4 machines, and technically we could also start building the Mesa Quarry by now. Okay, I would say I'll make about 1 hour of progress with this machine here, make a little time lapse. Alright, so those were 59 minutes of driving this thing forward. Let's take a look at the results. So I got 3 stacks of diamond ore and 45, plus 3 diamonds. Got exploded by the machine. So if you would fortune the diamond ore, that's about 500 diamonds per hour, which is quite decent. With an even longer machine, I once managed to get 600 diamonds in 1 hour, so this is actually a good result for this time. We also drove this thing about 250 blocks forwards, which is quite decent, but keep in mind we have to do this for 3,500 blocks. So in total it would take 14 hours to drive one of those machines the complete distance, and we need to do this 4 times. So in total we're looking at about 60 hours of doing this, which is quite grindy, but in the end we're also getting 100 million blocks out of the quarry, so it's definitely worth it in the end. What's also maybe noteworthy is that we built the tunnel bore 1 block too low by accident. But this works. The problem would have been that lava at this height can actually ignite the TNT. But the nether brick fence we have below actually protects the TNT. So if this would be gone, the TNT could catch fire. So the fire block would be below the TNT, then it would explode. So we were quite lucky that this works out. The second problem was that we have this fence gate in front that also could catch fire. It's the same height as the TNT. And this actually happened once. In order to fix this issue, we added those 2 blocks here. So this basically also protects the fence gate from being set on fire. Might suggest to use a trapdoor instead that doesn't catch fire. But because of a trapdoor bug, it doesn't work like the fence gate. So the way this works is, in order to be activated a second time, we have this redstone block here, which triggers the fence gate if you move it forward. So now it's getting moved the first time, and we have to trigger this again with the redstone block. Now the problem is with the trapdoor is that it's only powered for basically 1 tick or 0 tick pulse, and the trapdoor is a little bit bugged. It wouldn't react to it, unlike the fence gate. That's why we need the fence gate, which could catch fire, but yeah, we fixed the issue by just placing some glass blocks below. It's actually in the end, yeah, good that we built this machine 1 too low, because we get more diamonds from it. I think the diamond layer starts pretty much at 15, so that's this layer. So a larger percentage of the area the tunnel bore here is filled with diamonds partially. So we actually improved efficiency by accident of this machine. Alright, so there's a lot of grindy work left to do here in this area, driving the tunnel boat forward, and then especially building the actual quarry. This will be I think this will be the biggest flying machine ever built. I think we need over 100,000 slime blocks, 80,000 observers, I think 100,000 pistons. And the moment we actually don't have enough resources to build it even. We need more redstone, that's why in the next episode I'm probably going to focus on the witch farms. So we can actually build the quarry. Also want to show some of the progress on Twitch, just live stream the tunnel bore or the building process here. And once it's completely finished, we probably do a server tour and I show the complete finished project on YouTube with the other SciCrafters. Alright, that's it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.